Jeff Bezos currently commands one of the largest personal fortunes in modern history. Adding Elon Musk's holdings to the total creates a figure that most global economies cannot match. Factoring in Bill Gates, their combined wealth reaches into the hundreds of billions. This chart compares that combined modern wealth against the 14th century king, Mansa Musa. His column reaches well past $400 billion into incalculable territory. Mali sat on half the world's gold, yet the crown didn't have a reliable way to collect or store that value. Before Musa, the gold in the ground was functionally useless to the central treasury. Possessing massive geological resources is not the same as being wealthy. Without an operating system to manage them, raw materials stay in the ground. In 1312, King Abu Bakr II ruled Mali with an obsessive ambition to cross the Atlantic Ocean and expand his empire. He launched an expedition of staggering size, sending 2,000 ships and 50,000 men into the dark waters of the Atlantic. The entire fleet vanished. No one returned, and the disappearance left a massive power vacuum at the top of the Malian government. His prime minister, Mansa Musa, was left behind to inherit 500,000 square miles of unorganized territory. Mansa Musa shifted his focus away from ocean expansion. He needed a strategy to organize his raw materials into a functional economy. Mali held incredible geographical advantages. The south contained endless gold mines, while the north held massive salt flats. In a harsh desert climate, human survival requires heavy sodium intake. This biological necessity meant salt traded at the same value as pure gold. Musa implemented a tax on every ounce of gold and salt mined, and a percentage on every transaction in his markets. He coupled his tax policy with a strict focus on internal safety. This stability drew merchants from across Africa into Mali's markets. Musa's tax structure and focus on internal safety generated a state surplus that his predecessors never accessed. Musa used the 1324 Hajj as a religious pilgrimage and a calculated projection of power across the continent. 60,000 people and hundreds of horses marched through the Sahara like a walking city, kicking up a massive dust cloud visible for miles. The caravan required 80 camels, each hauling roughly 130 kilograms of pure gold. He funded an infrastructure campaign along the route, paying for the construction of a new, permanent mosque every Friday. This journey functioned as a multi-billion-dollar marketing campaign. The sheer volume of gold forced neighboring nations to recognize Mali's dominance. When the caravan reached Cairo, Musa asserted his diplomatic superiority by refusing to bow to the Egyptian sultan. He then began a massive giveaway, distributing tons of gold directly to the poor, the military, and local merchants. Flooding the market with this new supply caused the value of gold to plummet instantly. This hyperinflation devastated the Middle Eastern economy, taking a full decade for regional prices to stabilize. Musa's casual charity functioned as an economic weapon. Giving his gold away broke a foreign nation's financial foundation. The crash in Cairo forced European cartographers to acknowledge Mali's existence and record it on global maps. Musa appears directly on the Catalan Atlas, holding a large gold coin to signify his role in the global economy. Musa died around 1337, leaving the throne to his son, who lacked his father's administrative vision. The new king drastically overtaxed his subjects, leading to internal rebellion and corruption. Governors began stealing the tax revenue, trade routes became unsafe, and the wealth evaporated as the empire was invaded by its neighbors. The empire collapsed from administrative failure, not a lack of gold. Once the systems protecting the trade and tax revenues were dismantled, even an incalculable fortune turned to dust.